So this might be the last really nice warm day in October. Well, there'll be other nice warm sunny days, but this one's really nice. Now I'm going to show you, this is the last piece, or maybe the second last piece, this 6x6 frame painting, strip frame painting on a cradled panel that I'm going to show you. And I just want to show you how it's framed and explain how it's made. When I make these small paintings on panel, they're an acrylic on gessoed panel, and I often finish them with one layer of very thin satin finish acrylic varnish, and then a very thin layer of cold wax medium. Oh, hi Jack. Here's Jack again, passing through. Which way you going, Jack? Heading out to see Jane. And I rub that finish. I put the cold wax medium on and I let it dry for about half an hour and then rub it. And it just gives a very nice warm glow. It's very different from an acrylic finish. It doesn't really look like an acrylic painting. Sometimes acrylic paintings look kind of plasticky, and this helps with that. Now, how this is framed. Okay, this is a strip frame. Maybe, again, I'll show you how this is made. These cradle panels are made from milled wood that I cut on my table saw. The 1x2 is cut on my table saw, and this very thin strip of 1/2 inch times 1.5 inch is cut on my table saw, milled from raw softwood lumber, not expensive. 2x6s, possibly 2x8s, 2x10s, something like that. Something where I can get a lot of strips out of. And I make these pieces, well, I make the panel first, the cradled panel, then I make the painting, then I do the frame. And, you know, they're sort of batch paintings. I might make 5 or 10 of these and then on to something else. But when you're making frames, you have to work out a lot of bugs, or especially on something this small, a painting this small, which is 6x6 inches. The painting is. Any little imperfection is going to show, so the craftsmanship has to be really exact. So here are the steps that I go through to make this. After I cut these strips, I make a lot of them in advance, all in one sitting, like I have a whole box full of 6-inch and 8-inch lengths of both the 1x2s and the strips. Now, once I select the pieces for the frame, I sand them. Oops, sorry. I sand them well, and I sort of put them to the side. Oh, it's getting windy. I put them to the side, and then I finish them. And the finishing is the thing that takes the most time. So I don't want the raw wood. I don't want the finish to be just raw wood. But neither do I want it to be white or any other flat color. So what I do is I mix up some whitewash with satin white latex paint. It's about, I don't know, maybe 8 parts water to 1 part paint. I apply it to these strips before I even install them, front and back sides. I just apply the whitewash, rub it off. You can do that once or twice. I think on this one I did it only once. Let that dry, and then I make the frame. Now, making the frame. Oh, sorry. 1 coat of varathane on both sides before I make the frame. The reason for that is these are coated with 2 coats of varathane as finish coat, and I can't really apply the varathane, you know, all around there once this is built. So I do at least 1 coat of varathane before I build. All right, then I'm ready to build. I'm using a miter saw, which is not really set up right now. Miter saw and a nail gun to do this. Nail gun is very important. You can't really get the precision if you're hammering away on something this small. Too many things just go out of whack. So a nail gun is really helpful. You don't need an expensive one. That's a cheap one. Okay, as I'm building, one piece at a time, you have to watch that these miters are exact. You can butt join this also. I think the butt joint on something this small might actually be a little harder to get precise, to tell you the truth. I was going to make one, but then I started and I thought, this is going to be not so good, or at least not as good as a miter. So, I miter this. I cut each piece. I nail gun it in as I go. It's helpful sometimes to use, now this is a really interesting instrument here. This is a Japanese fine saw. Japanese make really interesting tools. And they're excellent woodworkers traditionally, so they know what they're talking about. A very precision, fine Japanese saw. Those will give you really nice miters just on a handheld miter box. But the problem with that is, if you overcut even a little bit on a corner, you mark it, you cut it, you set it into place to see if it's the right fit, and you look at, oh, it's just a smidgen over. And all those little tiny bits on something this small matter. So you can't really go and trim it with this saw. You can, though, on a miter saw quite easily. You can take a hair off with a miter saw, just by trimming it. So I install piece by piece as I go, and always watching to make sure that these corners, oh, watch the saw there, that these corners are a perfect fit. Now with wood filler, you're always going to be filling a little bit with wood filler, but the thing is, it should be minuscule, like almost nothing that you're filling with wood filler in the end. And that's really important on something this small. Okay, after everything is built, then I take a plane. Sometimes these corners are it's difficult to get them exactly in line. So I take a little box plane and a few strokes sometimes to make sure that these are perfectly level. This is level with this. So there's a little bit of finishing with a box plane, with a hand plane. I don't know what they're called, the smallest planes. Then I fill the holes. Oh, also I forgot to mention, while these are nail gunned in 1, 2, 3 holes, these are pre-drilled 1, 2, 3, pre-drill with a drill and putting in a finishing nail into 1, 2, 3, and then countersinking with a little countersink punch. Oh, I should also mention, as I'm assembling, glue goes in that join, in each one of these joins. Not too much, or you'll actually take up space. And then I fill with white wood filler, rubbing off the excess, wait for that to dry. Then I sand, making sure everything looks really good. And then I finish very carefully with 2 coats of satin finish water-based varathane. And then I set this up so that it can be set on a shelf or hung like this. And that then is finished. So I'm not going to do anything more to this. Framing is really important on art pieces in general. A lot of people just frame badly. The frame does not enhance the work. So, that's everybody's opinion, but God, it's really quite obvious that a lot of times the frame overpowers the work, and the framing does not help the work. So I don't frame all my pieces. I don't frame hardly any of them now that I'm selling most of them online. But still, the issue of framing is important. So it's really key to give this some kind of attention. So I think that's about the extent of what I want to show you today. This is 1.5 inch. The idea of whitewashing is nice. I like that idea for raw wood, because a lot of times the white will be completely overpowering, again taking too much attention away from the painting. This may be even you can vary that ratio of how much water you put in with the paint, and you can subdue the grain of the wood gradually if you mix a thinner solution and then apply more layers if you want to keep subduing the grain of the wood. And here I may even have put a little bit too much white in and taken away too much of the grain of the wood. But that whitewashing is something that you can control really quite easily, and it's a nice effect that you can get just by very simple applications of paint, watery paint, and rubbing it off. Okay, I think for today's video, I think that'll be all that I'll show you. I'll just maybe put that into the sunlight and show you the painting again. I have one more of these panels built that I'll make a painting for, and then I think I'll leave this for a while and go on to something else.